luxury, reliability, performance. None of those words have anything to do with this video because we're working on a BMW. That's right, guys. On this video, we are working on one of Poland's finest automobiles, the BMW. Brought my wallet. This particular automobile, what we're going to be doing on this is, first off, we're going to be installing black grills. Now, these are clearly OEM replacement parts. I know that because it says right there, made in China, and everyone knows that's where BMWs are made. So I figured, since we're changing out those grills for the black ones, you can see this front bumper cover on this car has had a really crappy repair and repaint at some point. Looks like somebody used some friggin' lacquer primer or something on there, so figured while the bumper cover is off for the grills, I'm gonna repaint the front bumper. So here's the disclaimer, guys. This is my daughter's car. So she had done a whole bunch of black accents on this car. I had done a bunch of black trim paint on this car, and now she's got the black grills. Now, don't get me wrong, my kids are fantastic. My son and daughter both are in university. They do really well. My daughter bought this car herself. But that was the only time I ever thought, maybe I should have got a paternity test. Anyway, all kidding aside, this is her car. She loves it. She bought it herself. My daughter is away for the holidays on a ski trip with her boyfriend's family. Being that I'm a self-employed body man, I can't afford things like ski trips. I figured I could at least paint the front bumper on her car for her while she's away. Now, this is also the car, if you've seen my past videos, I did a video on painting stainless steel and chrome trim black. Now, all of this trim on this car that you see was all shiny. So that was, I'd have to look back, I think it's like 2 years ago. So that video, oddly enough, it still gets tons and tons of views. I get lots of good response on it. Lots and lots of comments. It also brought out the trolls in a big way, telling me how I had done it wrong. Well, LOL, I'd like to see that in a year. Paint's all gonna be falling off. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. Well, it still looks perfectly fine. So as you can see, my daughter's added this little black spoiler, all the black trim. Car's dirty. I mean, it is winter here where we are. She does have some spanky little black wheels for it. So it looks like this in the summertime. So it's a sharp little car. So like I said, we're going to install those grills, and I figured because it's my daughter's car, let's paint that bumper cover as well. So I'm going to get started ripping that thing off right now. So there's front bumper cover off. So I didn't record it, pretty straightforward. Honestly, wasn't as complicated as these made in Korea cars usually tend to be, with 38 different style of fasteners and 18 specialty tools to get it off. But it was actually 8mm bolt there, a couple down there, a bunch along the bottom, and then it had these Torx head screws along the top. So pretty simple there. Now, it's a bumper cover. That is not a bumper. People always refer to this as a bumper, and they say, oh, you know, these modern cars, you hit something and everything gets smashed. Well, they're built that way because that is not a bumper. That is a bumper cover or a fascia. This covers the bumper. This is the bumper. See, these cars still have a steel bumper, just like old cars do. Now, most of the stuff I work on still has steel bumpers. Occasionally I have stuff like this in the shop, so here's another example. Bumper cover. Bumper. So I clear that up. Even though in the past when I made videos on things like BMWs, you guys know more than I do already, but that is okay. So now with that bumper cover off, I'm going to throw this on a stand and just strip everything off, all the grills and everything. And then probably, yeah, leave it until tomorrow to get prepping on it. I am hoping to paint this Prelude tomorrow. We'll have a video coming out on that. And yeah, we're just kind of in between Christmas and New Year's right now. Christmas was yesterday or whatever, so I just figured I would get some work done and some side work done. So there's a bumper cover off of our fine Italian automobile. All stripped down, grills and everything are out. That's all straightforward stuff. So yeah, looking at this, I'm thinking somebody has tried to just paint the bottom part of this, and for some reason they thought they should put some, I don't know, shitty red lacquer primer on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if they've done some repairs on it. Anyway, not a big deal. I'm going to get it sanded down tomorrow. It's well past the end of the day now, so I've had enough. I'll paint that in the morning and then hopefully get this sanded up and get it painted end of the day or on Friday or something, or whatever the hell day it is. And get this thing back together before my daughter gets back from her trip. Well, hello, BMW enthusiasts. If you're still here, if you haven't left mad yet, here's our BMW front bumper cover. So I have got it all prepped up, ready to paint, as good as it's going to get. So I did paint that Honda Prelude today, so first thing in the morning I'll be able to take that out of the paint booth and we'll put this thing in there and get it painted. So keep in mind, I might not be using the exact BMW procedures that they use in the actual BMW plant in Japan, but I'll do my best. I was thinking about getting a BMW paint gun, but they kept breaking down. So it's the next day. I've got the bumper cover in the high-end BMW approved paint booth. So this is ready for paint. You might not think so. I'm going to show you the way I'm going to do this one. Now, a couple of different ways you can do something like this. Now, obviously, when you've got a bunch of burn throughs and scratches, you're going to need some primer on that. So you can do that one of two ways. You can prime it with some high build primer, resand the entire thing. Really, that is the best repair. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to be giving this a coat of urethane sealer rather than high build primer and sanding. So basically, it's just a coat of high build primer, but without the sanding step in between. So that is going to cover up all of these burn throughs. It's going to cover up most of the small, you know, nicks and scratches. Like I said, it's not the absolutely ideal way to do it, but in this case, I am on a time crunch to get this done for one thing, and probably not going to get paid for this job. So I've already mixed up some sealer. So in this case, I'm using this, so this is PPG Shopline. I have the PPG Shopline paint system. This primer, this is a urethane primer. This can be mixed as a high build primer for leveling, for sanding, blocking, or it can be mixed as a sealer. I have mixed some up as sealer. I've got it in the gun. I'm going to go put a coat on the bumper cover. So our next step on this process is going to be mixing up some paint. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what's involved with this stuff. So in this case, our paint code is 300. So I've looked up paint code 300 on my mobile app for my paint system, and it's brought me to this color book. So we have 4 choices. And now, just to put it in perspective, there's 6 books of white, a couple more up there. So white isn't just white. I mean, I've got about 10 books of these. Just gonna show you what you're up against with this stuff. Okay, so what we have in this case, we have redder, lighter redder, lighter, and the standard. So, not every one of these cars comes out of the factory the same, no matter what you're working on. You gotta think, they paint a bajillion of these things. 500-gallon drum of paint, maybe they start painting up here, and as that drum of paint goes down, the color can change. It's pretty standard. That's why we typically will have these variants on colors. So that's where it comes down to the eye to determine which is going to be our best match. See, now with the light, I'm leaning more towards standard. And I find probably 75% of the time you're using the standard variant of the color. I don't know how well this will show up. I know that light's not the best for the camera, but this is the one I'm going with. You can see that one is too yellow. That one's a little too red. That one's pretty good, but yeah, I'm gonna be going with the standard. So this is all done on a scale, all by weight. So I've got my scale zeroed out here, and I'm gonna start choosing toners. So let's see how many colors go into this white. And our first one is yellow. And then we have gold, which is actually really green. And incidentally, I'm actually mixing 8 ounces of paint, so that should be enough for what we're doing for spraying a bumper cover. 87, so we have black. And if you ever wonder why automotive paint is so expensive to get mixed, now I just went and replaced 2 of these toners a couple of days ago. I just kind of keep them topped up as I need them, and those 2-gallon toners were about $1,000. And remember how super concentrated this stuff is. Every drip can change your color. So you want to be bang on. All right, now we have white. And then we finish it up with the base coat converter or the binder. And there's our BMW Alpine White. So I've reduced our paint 1:1 with a fast reducer in this case. We're ready to put her in the gun. Oh, time to mix up some clear coat. So I use this Shopline AC 7200 European clear coat for everything. Just for the record, guys, not sponsored or anything like that. I just showing you what I use. Painted and cured. It's actually still, well, it's the end of the day now. I painted this first thing this morning and I've had heat on it, so it's okay to put together. So as you can see, it looks good. And if you really look closely, you can still see a few of the chips and scratches because of the way we did it. But I mean, honestly, you got to really look close to see them. Once it's on the car and assembled, it's going to look just fine. So I'm going to start throwing this together, throw the pieces that go on this part, and then I'm going to try and get it onto the car. All right. Before I finish up today. Once you get finished with this job, you can put one of those really cool marketplace ads up. Parts left over from my build. Yeah. Bolting on a few parts isn't a build, guys. Anyway, there it is. So all put back together, so it looks good. Color looks really good. And before you guys get your man buns all twisted up, I'm just messing with ya. You know, I know you're going to be on the keyboard now telling me how reliable your BMWs are. But that's good. I like lots of oddball cars too. In fact, you should see my collection of cars. I have a really random, weird junk. So there you go. So now you know what's involved in, you know, a basic quickie paint on a bumper cover. So I know not everyone has the equipment, the place, the materials, paint guns, a place to do it. I mean, it's if nothing else, it gives you an idea of what's involved. If it's something you need to get done, or have somebody do, or you want to try and do it yourself. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.